Hey guys, greetings and salutations. I'm here in Wilderness Park, my favorite park. I love to visit when I'm doing these vlogs and things like that, in the city of Downey here in, of course, California. So I'm James, thought I'd make another video. Thanks for tuning in. You know, I actually wanted to talk about the idea of men believing that women owe them something when it comes to the dating world. You know, one of the things unfortunately, I was really sucked into early on was that I was a nice guy. You know, I kind of felt that I was one of these guys that, I was a pretty decent guy. I had my own definition of what I identified good as, or a good husband, a good father, good potential partner. And what I noticed is that anytime I applied myself to try to connect with a woman, I felt that if she rejected me, that, not only was I insecure and I was really upset at myself, but I was upset with her. And the more the rejection took place, the more I was bitter towards women in general. And I remember reaching a place where I started to actually bunch women in one category and not really make a distinction or distinguish between certain types of women, whether they're Christian women or mature women, or, I really just kind of bunched women all together. And I remember even laughing at certain people at one point who encouraged me to go out and date, and I was so bitter about dating, I just didn't even want to be even, bothered by it at all. I seen it as a chore. But today, as a Christian man, I really see dating and courting is something, moving towards a relationship with a woman in a, to reach marriage and things like that. But I think it's really sad that there are so many guys that are under the impression that because they're a nice guy, because they feel that they are good, they somehow are owed a woman's time, or owed the opportunity to be a woman's partner. And I think that there are a lot of us guys that forget that just as we have our own preferences, women have their own preferences. Some ladies love big, bulky guys. Others don't. Some ladies like guys that can almost pass for women, maybe a metrosexual or whatever else. And that's their business. And I think that we have to keep in mind that just as we have our own preferences and we have our own taste in women, there are women that have their own taste in men, and that's okay. That's okay. And just because somebody rejects you or somebody is not interested doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. They just have different tastes. And I used to actually go through a lot of those issues when it came to just being insecure about myself. Did somebody like me, my cornrows? Did they like the size of my nose? Did they like my complexion? Did they like my body figure? And I noticed that, over time, there were some ladies that made it very clear, no, I was not their preference. And I learned to be okay with that, because I learned that, guess what? There are some ladies that I am their preference, and they are interested in me, and they've made that very clear, So I've learned to keep that in mind, that just because somebody's not interested in you doesn't mean somebody on the other end isn't, Now, one of the things I do want to keep in mind is that as Christians, men and women, our priority should always be finding somebody that loves God. One of the Bible verses that I committed to memory was Proverbs 31:30. Charm is deceitful, beauty is vain, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. The idea of trying to connect with somebody without God being involved in a relationship is frightening. And we have so many people willing to do something like that, jump into a relationship without God, that here in the West, we have over 50% of marriages ending in divorce. So it's really something that we have to keep in mind, that it can't just be about looks, it can't just be about a person's pocketbook, but it has to be about their character, their integrity, and most importantly, do they have a relationship with the eternal God? And that's not something that a person should just claim, but you should actually be able to see it in their life. You should be able to see the evidence that they have a changed life. So I think it's important that we just keep in mind that it's okay to pursue a woman. He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor with the Lord. Okay, that's the book of Proverbs. It's a good thing to pursue a wife. We will obtain favor with the Lord. If we get married, God has, He gives His promise in regards to that. But let's keep in mind that women have every right to have their own preferences. Some women want a tall guy, some want short, some want whatever, and that's okay, because we have our own preferences. I have my own preferences. You guys have your own preferences. That's okay. So let's not give women a hard time for having their own preferences. And even if a lady is going after guys that really she has no business going after, hey, that's her business. We can warn her, but leave her to her business, okay? And let her learn her own mistakes her own way. Just like us guys, we learn from our mistakes. God bless you guys. Hope this was helpful. Take care and God bless you. Peace.